This was, in modern American politics, kind of a blowout, right? I mean, you had actually, what I kept telling people, he won by a bigger number than when he was elected.
By not only a bigger percentage, but an actual number of votes.
Exactly.
In June 5th of 2012, we got more votes and a higher percentage than we did on November 2nd of 2010.
Okay, so how did then 5 months later another decent man, two decent men ran in Wisconsin that year. One won by a bigger percentage of more absolute vote than he did the first time, with a very tough message for people. We got to make some changes. But if you stick with me, it's all going to be fine at the end of the day. What happened to the other guy that ran 5 months later?
The day after I got asked, can Mitt Romney win Wisconsin? And I said unequivocally yes, and here's how. If Mitt Romney shows that the R next to his name, like my R, is not just for Republican, it stands for reformer, he can win. Unfortunately, not just in Wisconsin, but I think in battleground states all across America, his advisors suggested to him that all he needed to do was keep focused on opposing Barack Obama, that people were upset with the economy, they're upset with the direction of the country, and he didn't spend the time telling people what a Romney presidency would be about like. And so instead of being reformer, the Obama campaign defined him as the R next to his name didn't just stand for Republican, stand for rich guy, only cares about rich guys, and that wasn't him, but that's what it came out to.
You do a very detailed email, probably at Wonkish, had a lot of policy stuff. Your wingman, Tonette, reads it and says, hey, if you got this, you wouldn't read it, so don't send it. And then you send a very simple, what I call the Braveheart memo. You basically said, America is looking for fighters. Yeah. They look for fighters here. It's very basic. It's very simple. It's to pump him up.
Thanked him for running, said, I just went through a recall. Can't even fathom how much bigger and more stressful this is on you and your family. Thank you for making that sacrifice. But, man, we need you. Not just here's some good political tips. We need you. Stand up, lay out a plan, make it clear, speak to the American people, and share the message. One of the most frustrating things to me was years ago when he first started running, he would tell the stories of the Olympics when he turned the Olympics around, and he would tell the stories of Olympians. You'd tear up.
But he didn't respond. He didn't even get back to you.
No.
And did you know at that time he was not going to win?
Oh, I just had a heart-wrenching feeling at that point. A little bit. Remember that first debate in October in Denver? For a moment there, I thought somehow that email had gotten through because I thought in the first debate he was on fire, he was moved forward. And then shortly after that, the 47% tape came out, and I thought, ooh.
Isn't it because the Republican establishment and the donor class and the political consulting class want to message everything and want to poll test everything, and they wouldn't let Romney be the reformer he could be. When you talk about reform, and this has gotten to be now, you see it in D.C., because the permanent political class is they've taken the Scott Walker word and they're running around saying reform, and and then you hear about the reforms. It's not reform. Yours was real reform. Let's go through everything you did quickly, because you had more than just this, what you're known for.
Right. We did not only the collective bargain, like I said, seniority, tenure, all that went away. We did voter ID.
Push a tough voter ID.
Right. We did voter ID. We did concealed carry. We did Castle Doctrine. We did $1.5 billion worth of tax relief. We did the most significant tort reform in the country. U.S. Chamber of Commerce honored us as the most aggressive legal reform state in the country for what we did that first year. We went on issue after issue after issue out there because we knew we had a limited amount of time to make the case. I said early on.
Why were you not with Mitt Romney going around the country at different places, not just Wisconsin, saying this is what has to happen? Were you ever invited by the campaign to travel with him through the South or the Midwest or battleground states like Iowa where you used to live?
The tail end, they invited us to Columbus, but other than Wisconsin, that's basically where we're at. Did a couple fundraisers for him. I think the frustrating part is you said let Romney be Romney. When he picked Paul Ryan, I think that went against all the consultant classes and everything else. And I, not only because Paul's a good friend of mine, I like him, I think the reason Mitt Romney picked Paul Ryan is because he thought he was a reformer that could actually help him govern, not help him get elected. And I said that was one of those shining moments. From that point forward, though, they tried to put Paul in the closet. They tried to keep all the attention on Barack Obama. Americans need to hear not just what's wrong with the other side. They need to hear what our plan is. And it was the big mistake. Remember this, I said this in the book too. They focused on the 1980 campaign for president and focused all on that phrase, are you better off today than we were 4 years ago, forgetting that was really Reagan's closing argument in the last debate. That wasn't his overall argument. He was about lifting people